Welcome back to Orange Chat Reviews. I'm reviewing Season 4 with spoilers of Game of Thrones. So, without any further ado, let's get to it. Arya reclaiming Needle. Getting her sword back. Awesome. The whole fuck the king from the Hound seems to make its way, or he slaughters a bunch of people, and it gets a price on his head for killing Kingsguard and whatnot. But you know what? Arya reclaiming Needle and then taking her revenge on that guy, great touch. Joffrey's wedding and much-deserved death, oh my god, I loved it. His cruelty, it's like, the way that kid was being so cruel and all that stuff, I am so fucking happy that he died. It was on Twitter, folks. It's like, fucking finally, rot in hell, Joffrey, man. Rot in fucking hell. You deserve it. You should have had a far worse death. You should have choked on your own fucking blood and vomit, you little bitch. But yeah, I was absolutely freaking ecstatic about Joffrey dying. I never would have wished death on a real person, but that asshole deserved it, and he is a fictional character, so I don't feel guilty one way or the other. Anyway, Baelish spiriting Sansa away, because obviously she was going to be implicated. Good touch. Cersei and Jaime fuck beside their dead son after everybody is ordered out, and it's like, really, Jaime? You're just gonna fuck her right? Your son's get cold, like, right there, man. And you just, boing. It's like, what the fuck? New levels of twisted, folks. Wow. Arya and the Hound, that was an interesting development. And I do like how it concludes, but we'll get into that later. How he's teaching her about how to fight, and their journey of how he steals and whatnot from other people, and she's learning from him in other ways. It's an interesting story. Daenerys continuously freeing slaves and whatnot. Now it's starting to get monotonous, but it's starting to come to a head. The Watch deserters staying at Craster's Keep, just whoring and raping all the women, or all of Craster's daughters and stuff. It's like, in the background, you see just a bunch of them just getting nailed, and it's like, this is very uncomfortable, but you know what? What do you expect from Knights of the Watch? They're celibate, and some of them don't want to be celibate. The White Walker offerings, I'm glad to know that that's been answered. Like, what happens to these children? I would prefer they die at this point, because being converted to White Walkers is not a very good something to like, you know? Theon, or Crashers keep burning, and how Bran was so close to Jon, but they couldn't meet each other because Jon would have stopped Bran from going north. He would have. I honestly believe that is, or agree with that. And Bran being able to manipulate Hodor and learning how to and whatnot is pretty cool. Theon being completely broken. Enrique! Bad writing. I'm sorry, that's just bad writing. You're telling me that when his sister frickin' found him, he would not want to go back? That would have snapped anybody out of their conditioning. I'm sorry, that's how I feel. I think that this was a bad decision. And if this happened in the book, I still think it's a bad decision. I don't care. Tyrion's second confession when he's put on trial for murdering Joffrey, or because Shay betrays him, it's like, really, Shay? And she just literally, she doesn't just throw Tyrion under the bus, she holds him down so the bus can run him over, reverse, then run him over again, man. And so he just loses it. That was some of the best writing and acting that I have seen in this show. Him just basically telling the rest of King's Landing, I should have fucking let you all die. I should never have defended you. I should have let this little bitch fucking run off like a coward and let them slay you all. And then he declares his trial by combat. Baelish killing Lysa and Arya nearly being killed, or not Arya, but Sansa being nearly killed by Lysa. gosh, that woman was disgusting in my opinion. So was her son. But yeah. I'm eager to see Sansa's character grow. I've not ever been fond of her, but I'm hoping that her character develops more into a more likable character. Somebody that's a little bit more strong and independent. So she took the first steps. Jorah's deception and exile when it's found out. This is questionable writing. If this happened in the book, please tell me down in the comment section. But other than that, I felt bad, man. I like Jorah's character. His devotion to Daenerys, and yes, he is in love with her. But it's like, Daenerys just, she's like, if you're not out of Marine by daybreak, you're dead. And I didn't like that part at all. The Mountain versus Oberyn. Oberyn hates the Mountain because he killed his sister, raped his sister, and killed her kids. And it's a clusterfuck of a fight because the trial by combat, Tyrion has Oberyn as his champion, and then fucking Cersei has the Mountain. It's like, oh my god, man, the Mountain, really? So they bring him back, and it looks like he's gonna win or lose, but then freaking, because Oberyn had to play with his food and get what he wanted, he got he went personal during the fight. It's like, dude, oh yeah. And then just the Mountain just brutalizes Pedro Pascal. It's like, damn, holy shit, that was nuts. The Black Castle siege was a good siege, man. That was like almost Helm's Deep good, but not really. It was interesting to see. It was a good fight. Seeing that the giants were there and the aftermath of it, it was a good fight. I really enjoyed the Castle Black siege. Cersei's madness, where she actually comes clean to her father. It's like, oh my gosh, man, you are just disgusting. You actually just told your father that you were fucking your brother, and he wouldn't even notice. And yeah, his pride stopped him from noticing. Daenerys learning the hard truths about how some slaves wish to remain slaves, especially if they're older. They've known slavery all their life. How could they know anything else? Being free, how would they adapt? You know? Can't teach an old dog new tricks. So she had to learn that. And then a lowly Valyrian guy comes in, shows her the charred remains of his 3-year-old daughter, and she's being told that Drogon has been killing people unchecked. So she decides to imprison her dragons. That was heartbreaking. She imprisons the 2 dragons that didn't do anything. So yeah, that's just, eh. The Three-Eyed Raven and the death of Jojen. That was... I like Jojen's character and Mira's character. But having him die, he knew it was going to happen, and yet he went along with it. Skeletons. Cliche, if you ask me, though. The Hound versus Brienne, when they come across each other and she's looking for Arya, she's like, you're Arya Stark, holy shit. And then it just goes on from there. I've seen Lannister gold. Is that Valyrian steel? I've always wanted Valyrian. And the fight between Brienne and the Hound, wow, brutality, folks. That was just brutal, and it was great. She just bites off his ear, slices his leg open. It's like, shit! And then Arya just leaves him. She takes his gold, leaves him. And I'm like, oh, shit. He begs her to kill him, and she doesn't do it. And it's like, yeah, dude, you deserve it. So, yeah, good on you, Arya. Tyrion's escape and revenge on Shae and Tywin. When Jaime busts out Tyrion, which I knew was going to happen because of how close Tyrion and Jaime were. Jaime was the only one that respected Tyrion, and I did like that dynamic between them. And he's like, oh, for a son of a whore, would you just get it over, you son of a whore? Then he comes in, he's like, is that any way to talk about our mother? And they finally have a goodbye hug, and it was great. But Tyrion just has one last thing to do. He goes after, and he sees Shae, and he goes after Shae and ends up murdering her, strangling her with a gold chain, and it breaks him to the point of insanity where he's like, And he's like, the way that he talks to Tywin, he's like, I just killed her. I murdered her. She's on your bed. And Tywin just, he's on the shitter, man. Dead on the shitter. Wow. Good on you, Tyrion. You killed your father on the shitter. Perfect way to disgrace Tywin after all the shit he's done to you. Arya going to Braavos was a great way to end the season. I'm looking forward to seeing her train to be an assassin and whatnot, because that was one of the more interesting parts about this, the faceless assassin telling her how to get there. And she hands the captain of that ship going to Braavos. He's like, how did you, Valar Morghulis? Valar Harris. And it was just great. Now this season did have a lot of problems. Dario Naharis being recast with a character that looks, or with a guy that looks nothing like Ed Skrein, mustache and short hair instead of long hair and no mustache, and Fabio looking. It was just weird, and it really took me away from that character. But anyway, folks, that is going to be the review. I like this season. Objectively, I'd put this one at a 7.5. There was more problems in this season than the other seasons. Subjectively, I would put it at a 9. I'm enjoying it. 10 out of 10 showgoer. But yeah, that's going to be the review, folks. And if you liked it, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What did you think of Season 4? Did you like it? Did you not? Let me know all your thoughts, folks. Anyway, this has been Orange Hat Reviews. Stay humble.